Next up in my preferred tools series is my axe. That's a Fiskars X150. I call it a small forest axe because it works just fine. It's plenty small. I need a sheath for it. This works though. Makes it easy to hang that through the loop on my pack and get it out into the woods. This is a great axe for the price. I know a lot of guys prefer the wood handle, the European axes, Granfors Brooks, and those other ones. I can't afford 120 bucks for an axe, so I bought this thinking, you know, my mentality on that was, well, I'll buy it now and save up for something else. I don't necessarily want anything else. This axe stays razor sharp. It's comfortable. It's lightweight. And it hasn't failed me. If you want to take down a good-sized tree, hack it up and have fire all night long. I typically take this when I'm sledding in the woods. When I'm snow walking, I take the sled and I can take more gear. Those are the best times for me because those are the worst weather, the worst kind of weather. You can go out in a snowstorm. You got your axe, you got your bow saw, take down some trees, process them up. You can do it relatively quick with the right tools, and then you throw them in the sled. And here's my jet sled right over there. You know, I take everything out in that, but get everything processed up, and you can spend a really comfortable night in the woods and not waste too much energy if you've got the right tools for taking down the trees. Now, this thing takes a deeper bite than any axe I've ever swung in my life. You know, I grew up in a house where we burned firewood, and we did a lot of our own processing our own wood. We cut our own, we split our own. I've used splitting axes that didn't bite splitting mauls that didn't bite like this one does, and it's lightweight. It's just got a really nice shaped edge on it. Right here, these are the keys to a comfortable night in the winter woods. Take the tree down, chop the tree up, burn the tree. It's that simple. You know, you can use this to take down trees. That's fine. Smaller ones, I will use it for that. But when it comes to taking down something 6, 8, 10 inches, I can take it down pretty quick with this, quickly, safely, and plus I get out some of my pent-up energy. I really like swinging the axe. I don't know, maybe it's the boy in me, but I do like taking the tree down here and there. Of course, nothing alive. I won't take anything alive down. The blades for this saw are pretty cheap. You can get a few of them for just maybe for under 10 bucks. And there are ways, I won't get into it in this video too much, but there are ways, if you take a look at those teeth, how they're offset from each other. If you've got a good multi-tool and your saw gets to the point where it's starting to cut a thinner kerf and binding up a whole lot, take your multi-tool and just bend those teeth back the way that they were originally bent, just a tiny little bit, just enough to offset them so that they cut a wider kerf. And you know, that's one maintenance thing for this kind of a saw. But in the winter woods, especially if I'm sledding and I can take a little bit more gear with me, I want to be comfortable. I work a lot. I don't get a lot of time off, and so when I'm in the woods, I like to be comfortable. I'm going to take this and this, and I'm going to make myself comfortable and warm and have fun doing it. Thanks for watching this installment of Bushcraft Tools. I think that's going to pretty much do it. I've gone through my pack on earlier videos. Don't really need to get too much into some of those things because everybody's, you know, a lot of you guys have really good ideas, better than I do when it comes to your containers and things like that. But just thought I'd pass along some things that have really made the woods more fun for me, including my knives, my fire kit, and my axe and saw. Thanks for watching my series on my preferred tools for bushcraft. If you've got any comments, that's great. Now I know, like I said, these are my preferences. A lot of guys with more experience than me have much better ideas, and even some guys with the same or less experience, you know, maybe have an answer that I don't have. These are the tools that I prefer to use. These are the ones that I'm comfortable with, and they're the ones that get the job done for me. I appreciate you watching. One thing I'd like to say, you know, I'm not a survival guy. When I think of survival, you know, I think of being out there with nothing and you know, making do with what's there. For me, a good woodsman should never be in a quote-unquote survival situation. You know what you need, keep it with you, and have it at all times. Survival to me it's about keen wood skills. But I'm not an expert on that. I have had some experience. I do spend as much time in the woods as I can, and I do try to have an adventure every now and then, and it usually, usually I bumble my way through it, and I get through, and I come out, and I've learned something at the other end. So if I can, if you can learn something from these videos, great. I've learned a lot from watching guys like Dave Pearson over at Really Big Monkey 1, Dave Canterbury, my buddy Dave Turner at Dave Turner at David's Passage here on YouTube, Bushcraft Bartons. There's a whole lot of great channels on wilderness survival. Morris Kohansky is a great guy to watch if you want to learn some ways to be comfortable in the woods. I'm pretty comfortable myself, and I feel good, and I love going out there. But a message that I'd like to get across to all of my viewers is, as much as I like to sit and watch guys like Morris Kohansky and learn from him, Dave Canterbury, and all those guys that I just named, there comes a time when you really got to get out there and just learn for yourself. Take the basics, and, take baby steps. If you're not experienced in the woods, spend a night. Go to a campground or go out on state land and maybe go 100 yards off the road. Go where you can see your car. Get out there, set up your camp, spend the night until you get comfortable. But don't ever be afraid. If you've got the knowledge and some common sense, don't ever be afraid to get out in the woods. A good woodsman has every reason in the world to respect nature, but no reason whatsoever to ever fear nature. So, watch, learn, but above all else, get out there, spend some time, because we can't convey the experience on video like you're going to have it when you get out in the woods. So get out there.